This is an example of how to make a turkey for Thanksgiving based on a recipe that was handed down from my mother-in-law, Beulah Kanapke. This method of preparing a turkey may not work for everybody, but it sure works for our family. My wife has been making a Thanksgiving turkey this way for over 20 years, and we still look forward to the day we can experience Grandma's favorite turkey recipe. Before you get started, you want to make sure that you have all the equipment and ingredients to make this recipe. My wife normally purchases a turkey that weighs about 20 pounds, since that is the size that will fit in the roaster she uses. If you take a look at the ingredients listed here, the approximate amounts are listed so you can check your pantry or cupboards to see if you have these supplies. If not, off to the grocery store you go. On the day before you're going to make your turkey, you'll want to toast 2 loaves of bread to make dressing. After toasting, leave the bread overnight to get stale. Space the toasted bread out so it is exposed to more air. Also, if your turkey is frozen, you should put it in a sink full of room temperature water to thaw overnight. On the day you're going to make the turkey, it should be mostly thawed. So now you want to remove the giblets from the turkey. The giblets consist of the liver, heart, gizzard, and neck. These are usually located in either the neck or tail ends of the turkey and are usually in a bag. Set these aside. The gizzard and heart can be diced up and mixed into the dressing if you like. At least that's what my wife does. She does not include the liver in the dressing, so if you like liver, you might fry this up and eat it separately. The neck will be cooked with the turkey a little while later. Remove any fat from the neck or tail end of the turkey, place it in a frying pan, and start to heat it. Now you want to cut each slice of bread into 4 pieces. You may think these pieces are too large, but believe it or not, it will be hard to tell when you're finished making the turkey. Place these slices into a large bowl. Dice the heart, gizzard, celery, onions, and apples, and then saute them in the turkey fat. You'll need some water for this part of the dressing making process, so put 4 to 6 cups of water into a saucepan and heat it. It doesn't have to be boiling. Now, combine the sauteed ingredients to the toasted bread and add a cup of sugar to sweeten it. As you mix, begin adding the heated water. You may not need all the water you heated. You have to use your judgment here. Mix it gently until everything is uniformly distributed. Don't add too much water, as the turkey contains its own juices that will further saturate the bread. It should look something like this. Stuffing the dressing in the turkey will add to the flavor, so don't skip this step. Before stuffing the turkey, shake a little salt into both the head and tail end, and don't overdo it. About a teaspoon or so in each end will add to the flavor. When you add the dressing, it may be a tight fit, but you should add dressing to both ends of the turkey. The head end of the turkey usually has a flap of skin that can be sewn together to keep the dressing inside. There's no such skin flap at the tail end, so no need to sew it there. Once the sewing is complete, place the turkey in the roaster and place the neck at the tail end of the turkey. Add a cup of water to the roaster to create some steam to help with the cooking process. Place some aluminum foil over the top of the turkey so the lid does not stick to the turkey as it cooks. Every turkey is a bit different, so these recommendations are approximate. You'll want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches 400, put the roaster in the oven for an hour. After an hour, you can turn your temperature down to 350 degrees. You'll want to cook it for another hour and a half, so while it's cooking, you can start to prepare a sauce to baste the turkey with. Basting sauce has 3 ingredients, which should be combined in a saucepan and then cooked over low heat until it boils and the sugar is dissolved. You can then remove it from the heat. Once you turn the oven down to 350 degrees, let the turkey cook for another hour and a half and then remove it from the oven. You'll be surprised how much juice has accumulated around the turkey. This is what you can use for making your gravy later. Remove the juice, placing it in a saucepan, leaving just a small amount in the bottom of the turkey pan. Now pour all of the basting sauce over the entire turkey and return it to the oven for 2 to 2.5 hours. Set the basting sauce pan aside as you'll use it later to make gravy. Check the turkey periodically and you'll know it's done if you can wiggle one of the legs and it moves around very freely. Once you've decided the turkey is finished cooking, remove it from the oven and place it on a large plate or baking sheet. Remove the dressing and put it in a bowl and set it aside. The turkey will be now ready to cut up. As my wife normally makes the turkey the day before Thanksgiving, she cuts it up and places it in a pan that she uses to reheat it on Thanksgiving Day. This reduces some of the work in cleaning up after a large dinner on Thanksgiving Day. One thing my wife learned is that rather than cutting the turkey up with a knife, she pulls it apart. She feels that this keeps the turkey more moist. You might try this and see what you think. Once you've removed the turkey from the roaster, you can reclaim all of the juice. Use a strainer to remove the solids from the remaining juice in the roaster. If you have a grease separator as shown here, you can use it to separate the grease from all the juice you've collected during the cooking of the turkey. Once you've separated the solids and grease from the juice, return it to the pan you roasted the turkey in and begin to heat it. Making gravy can be quite tricky as it oftentimes turns out lumpy. Here's some advice from my wife telling you how she does it.
I put a cup of flour and 2 cups of water in this pot, and then I just kind of keep stirring it, and I just added some of the broth that I took off before I basted. And I'm just going to keep stirring this to kind of bring it up to room temperature, and it'll help make a smooth gravy.
Once the flour mixture thickens a bit, add it to the roaster with all of the other juice that you collected. Heat the gravy to boiling and stir it constantly so it doesn't burn. In about 15 to 20 minutes it will thicken and you should be ready to take it off the heat and serve it. You should now be ready to enjoy your dinner and hopefully your turkey turns out as delicious as my wife's does. As I mentioned earlier, she normally prepares the turkey, dressing, and gravy the day before Thanksgiving and then simply reheats it on Thanksgiving Day. Making a turkey dinner is like anything else. The more you practice it, the better it gets. Best of luck making your turkey and hope you enjoy the delicious dinner it makes. So long.